an absolute honor it is to be here. Thanks so much to everyone here tonight, the members of the CRS board, the Hall of Fame committee. And I'd also like to thank Clay Honeycutt for providing so much support. And I actually had that in here, but actually listening to Dex's comments, I'm glad we got the good Clay. But a very special thank you to the man that has made the revitalization of WNOE possible, the absolute best market manager in the business, Mr. Dick Lewis. Without his vision and direction, I certainly wouldn't be here tonight. Thank you, Dick. And then there's the great Eddie Edwards. I am so thankful that I get to do what I do every day, and I'm even more thankful that I get to do it together with Eddie Edwards. Eddie and I started our journey together just a couple of years ago. We began the rebuilding process of WNOE as a powerhouse country radio station and New Orleans back into a thriving country market. As Eddie likes to say, he's been fired 3 times, but thanks to me, he's been hired 4 times. And Eddie, if you're not funny tonight, we could be 4 for 4. I honestly didn't know what I was getting into with Eddie Edwards, but we hit it off right away. We met at a bar on Bourbon Street the first time, and we talked about philosophies, we talked about what needed to be done to rebuild the station. And every time his glass was empty, he'd hold it up over his head and proclaim, "Dead soldier!"
Dead soldier!
Which, of course, is my job as a good program director to keep it filled, and I filled it up dutifully, and we've had a wonderful relationship ever since. Being Eddie's program director, it's kind of like throwing beads off a Bourbon Street balcony. No, Eddie doesn't flash, but he's always very eager and very willing. Eddie absolutely amazes me at his desire to learn something new about a new artist or a new song. The best way to generate more partner and hopes for our annual St. Jude Radiothon, which I'm very proud to say that because of Eddie's passion for success, we've raised over $400,000 in just the last 2 years, and over $2 million with our St. Jude Dream Home campaigns, thanks to Eddie. But I didn't really know what I had with Eddie until about a year into our journey when we were hosting the Brothers of the Sun tour in New Orleans. And a couple of days before the show, Tim McGraw invited Eddie to come up on stage with him during the show to help to induct him into the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame. This was a huge moment for us in our rebuilding of WNOE and reestablishing us as the country music authority in New Orleans. Eddie knew how important this was. Now, we're both running all over the Superdome. We have clients, we have listeners, we have meet and greets, we have the mayor there, we've got TV crews all over the place. And the Superdome is kind of a big place, and even when we keep the lights on, it's kind of crazy in there. So, when I got to my spot, or we got to the spot a few minutes early, and I found Tim's PR person, I said, "Great, as soon as Eddie gets here, we can run through what we're going to do." And she said, "Oh no, Eddie's right over here, he's been here for 15 minutes. Now, here is a guy that has done all there is to do in country radio. He's played harmonica with Brad Paisley, he's emceed Garth Brooks, he's had golf clubs thrown at him by Vince Gill. He's done it all. Yet because he knew how important it was for our station, he was there 20 minutes early. And that's the kind of guy Eddie Edwards is, and the kind of guy he continues to be. He's won all sorts of industry awards over the years, yet he never stops working to be the absolute best. And since Mr. Eddie's return to WNOE, we have successfully reestablished the station as a leader. Due in no small part to Eddie Edwards, WNOE is now the #1 non-urban radio station in New Orleans. And the great Eddie Edwards has the highest ratings in the station history with both 2554s and 18 to 34s. Mr. Eddie connects with the young people, right?
And the 50s.
Everyone that knows me has heard my opinion that we are merely custodians of the format, that our job is to plant the seeds for the next great artist, the next great George Straits. But I also believe we leave behind a legacy. We have a responsibility to lead the way for the next generation of great broadcasters. And I can promise you, anyone that wants to learn how to be successful in this wonderful business as a great broadcaster and communicator, all they have to do is follow the footsteps of Eddie Edwards. Tonight, it's one of the greatest moments in my career. It is indeed my honor to introduce you to the newest member of the Country Radio Hall of Fame, Mr. Eddie Edwards.
had a seed in it. I smoked so much weed, Willie Nelson did my intervention. Please. Like you weren't on the tour bus. Thank you very much. Listen, I'm glad I'm up here. If I'd have had, that's great wine. If I'd have had one more glass, I'd have come up here as Randy Travis. Sir. On a scale of 1 to Randy Travis, how drunk were you? No, you know, really, when they first told me that I was getting this prestigious honor and that I had to make a 5-minute acceptance speech, the first thing I asked was, can I voice track it? And you know Mr. Eddie needs a talent fee. People always ask, you know, what made you choose radio? Well, look at me. What were my career options? But anyway, it started off for me in a little 5,000 watt radio station, a little daytimer in the middle of the Mojave Desert. And I was able to work really hard, change my persona to it, 10 or 15 times, finally just became myself. And I'm glad I did because it resulted in me tonight being inducted into the Country Music Radio Hall of Fame. And I got to tell you something, along the way, for you young people, along this incredible journey, I have literally made hundreds of dollars. But I have 1,000 t-shirts and hats. And I got to tell you something, the perks are incredible. The perks are incredible. Every Saturday afternoon for 40 years. Every Saturday afternoon for 40 years, I've got to spend with my favorite car salesman. Dining on pizza, always single topping. And I don't know if always at the truckload sale. And I don't know if you've heard, but there's 0% financing for 60 months. On approved credit. And you can come by and spin our prize wheel. But if you're smoking hot, forget the prize wheel, we'll give you the prize. Because that's how we roll. I would like to introduce I've been married about 30 years to my lovely wife, Marie. University of Oregon. From the University of Chicago Law School, my daughter, Leah. She is a lawyer. I'm so disappointed in her, I wanted her to be a DJ. My oldest son from Marshall University, Huntington, West Virginia. We are Marshall Tyler. And my youngest son, who works for the Westin in New Orleans at the foot of Canal Street. So if you come to New Orleans, you need to know where all the good places to go in the corridor are. You need to know the best places to eat, or you need to make a bet on a football game. See, my youngest son, Dylan. And of course, all my friends and a lot of people from all over the United States came in that I used to work with. Now, I want to make one special introduction. I have, if you can believe it, I do have a grandson. His name is Blake Edward. He's 4 years old. Now he is like a radio savant. Already he can talk over intros. He can post up, to the vocal. He knows Next Gen, and he knows Cool Edit Pro. His name is Blake Edward, and I'm proud to announce that this Monday he's the new morning show host on WSIX. Why not? They've tried everybody else.
Bada big.
Including myself. She'll be called Blake and Bubba. I would like to acknowledge a man that kept us safe after a huge storm we had and organized a thing called United Radio, which had never been done before. It'll never be done again. And he literally was a hero, for real, of Hurricane Katrina. Mr. Dick Lewis, Vice President, New Orleans. And of course, the operations manager who indicted me tonight. I'm sorry, that's Louisiana. He inducted me. It's the other Edwards. And I'll tell you, I appreciate the nice words he said, but we don't always agree because I'm of the opinion that our listeners want to hear less music and more Eddie.
I would love to hear that.
He disagrees. But we go on. Ladies and gentlemen, Don Gosselin. And also they always say, you know, that programming and sales cannot coexist or they don't get along, but three of my friends for a long, long time are three of our salespeople. We've had many adventures over the years. I would like to introduce you to them, ladies and gentlemen. Beth Dawkan, Jennifer Luquette, Michelle Killian. Now, they are three, obviously, by the names they're of French ancestry. They're Catholic girls from New Orleans, and I'm going to tell you, on behalf of them, we've never been around this many Protestants.
True.
It's a little intimidating. But on that subject, we are about to have another pope. I just found that out. By midnight tonight, we should have a brand new pope. It's either going to be the Bishop of Africa, the Bishop of Mexico,